There's a nerve in your body that runs all the way from your brainstem down to your gut. And in 2011, a team of researchers found something that sounds almost impossible. What lives in your gut can reach up through that nerve and change your brain. This is a mouse study, not a human trial. We'll flag that clearly as we go, because it matters for what conclusions we can draw. But stay with it, because what they found became the foundation for almost everything that's come after it in this field. The team was led by Javier Bravo, and they wanted to answer a very specific question. Could a single strain of gut bacteria directly change brain chemistry in a healthy, normal animal? Not a sick one, not one with a disease, just healthy. So they took mice and split them into two groups. One group got a daily dose of a bacterial strain called Lactobacillus rhamnosus. The other got a plain broth, no bacteria at all. Weeks later, they tested how the mice responded to stress. The bacteria-fed mice showed significantly less anxiety-like behavior. They spent more time in open, exposed spaces, something anxious mice normally avoid instinctively. They also showed fewer signs of depressive behavior in standard behavioral tests used across this field. Okay, bacteria changing behavior. Interesting, but this is where the study gets serious. The researchers didn't stop at behavior. They looked directly inside the brain. And they found that mice given the bacteria had measurably different levels of GABA receptors, the brain's main calming system, in several regions tied to emotional regulation. Some regions showed more receptor activity. Others showed less. And the pattern matched exactly what you'd expect from an anti-anxiety effect. So the bacteria weren't just changing how the mice acted. They were changing the actual chemistry of the brain. Now here's the question every good scientist asks at this point. How? A bacteria lives in the gut. The brain is on the other side of the body. What's the bridge connecting them? This is where the vagus nerve comes in. The vagus nerve is the longest nerve in your autonomic nervous system. It runs from your brainstem, down through your neck and chest, into your gut, carrying signals in both directions, constantly. The researchers had a hypothesis. Maybe this nerve was the communication highway. So they designed the experiment that made this study famous. They took a separate group of mice and surgically severed their vagus nerve, then gave them the exact same bacteria, same dose. If the vagus nerve really was the pathway, cutting it should eliminate the effect completely. And that's exactly what happened. In mice with an intact vagus nerve, the bacteria reduced anxiety-like behavior and changed GABA receptor expression, just like before. In mice with the nerve severed, the bacteria did nothing. No change in behavior, no change in brain chemistry. The effect vanished completely. Same bacteria, same dose, completely different outcome, depending on whether one single nerve was still connected. That's not just a correlation. That's about as close to a causal mechanism as you can get in this kind of research. Let's sit with what this actually means. For a long time, the idea that gut health affects mood sounded more like wellness marketing than hard science. This study is one of the biggest reasons that changed. It didn't just show a link between gut and brain, it showed the actual wire the signal travels on. But we have to stay honest about the limits here. This was mice. Healthy mice, one specific bacterial strain, tested in a controlled lab setting. It does not mean any probiotic on a store shelf will do the same thing in a human brain. The researchers themselves were careful about that distinction. This was a mechanism study, designed to answer how something might work, not a treatment study proving what works in people. What it does establish is something foundational. The gut and the brain are not two separate systems that just happen to share a blood supply. There is a direct, specific, nerve-based communication line between them. And in this animal model, gut bacteria used that exact line to influence brain chemistry tied to anxiety and mood. Since 2011, this study has become one of the most cited papers in an entire field of research now called the gut-brain axis. It didn't answer every question about the connection, but it asked the right one first, and it built the first real bridge between microbiology and neuroscience. one other researchers have been building on for over a decade since. This is Curious and Verified. And this season, we're walking across that bridge, one peer-reviewed study at a time. From anxiety to depression, to how something as ordinary as antibiotics might quietly affect your brain along the way. Every claim, every number, traced back to the original source. Linked below. Always. If that's useful to you, subscribe. There's a lot more of this season coming.